was horrible, Art. Shut up. It's good to be back in the saddle. I'm back! Back in the saddle again. Any of you guys know what that's from? Back in the saddle. I'll give you a hint. No, I won't. All right, let's see. Oh, we gotta do the warning, right? For all the peeps out there that want to complain, now you can complain, but you can't do anything about it.
Warning, Archer's Garage Live is not suitable for all audiences. Viewer discretion advised.
Every day, it's a new day for crappy weather. It's just been brutal. I hope everybody's been okay. I just said, you know what? I'm not shaving. I'm not cutting my hair. I've been out in like 7 degrees, 20 degrees, like most of us, 30 degrees. Oh, it hit 37 the other day. I was like, wow, that's nice. Then it was like 45 one of the days. And I'm like, ooh, summer is back. You know, it's crazy, but that's how you get sick. I know a lot of people around me are. I'm kind of sick, for like the past week or so. I kind of like slept like last Sunday. It's just like congestion, you know, because the weather's just crap. Like I said, I've been out in it shoveling and snow blowing and breaking stuff and fixing stuff. And then the heat went on one of the coldest nights. It was like, I think it was like 3 Sundays ago. The ex-wife went out. She was in talking to her. My daughter went out. Was talking to him for a little while. I was kind of in and out. And she was like, well, I'm going to go to the store. I'm going to go here, whatever. I'm like, well, I have stuff to do. It's like a Saturday, I think it was. I'm like, well, I got stuff to do outside. So I went outside and I'm like, let me go back in. And I think I wanted to get some more coffee or something. And I smell something. Right? I smell something burning. And, you know, I've been involved in electronics industries and all the other stuff. And a lot of us kind of know what, you know, this when certain things are burning, you kind of know what the smell is. It's so like electrical stuff is usually like an acrid kind of smell. Is that going to be annoying? Is it going to flicker? I don't see it flickering. If it's annoying, let me know. And I'm like, what is that smell? So I go, you know, and I know smells. I mean, you know, me with the big nose, right? I just told you that the Greeks used to call me Johannes Meteorolus. Johannes Meteorolus. With the tongue roll, right? That's John with the big nose, right? So I've got it trained, and it's been working good, I don't know, for a while. Even with all the cats and everything, I generally don't get it stuffed up or anything. I can kind of breathe through both sides. I don't know. Like something's burning. I'm looking all over the place. I went down in the basement. I'm like, I smell it down here. Now, last February, I cleaned the dryer. I cleaned the basement. I cleaned the vents. I did wiring. Cleaned in between and moved everything and reorganized. I'm like, I know she said she was going to put the dryer on. I checked the dryer and I could kind of smell it. Now it's a gas dryer. It doesn't really matter. We all know dryers have potential. You know, a year ago when I cleaned that out, the vent tube is long. It has to go through one of the under basements and stuff to get out the back. There was a lot of crap in there. And I cleaned it out. I'm like, well, it couldn't be a very big fire. Right? I don't see any smoke. And I'm like, you know what? I'm went around upstairs. I'm like, let me not call the fire department right now. Let the ladies get home first. Explain to them what's happening so that they don't. So, because if I called the fire department while they were out, they wouldn't get a parking spot. Because literally the entire block, because they all come out. Everybody comes out. Medics, PD rolls, right? 5 units, right? They bring the hook and ladder. They're right up the block. They can walk, right? No, they got to roll everybody. So I'm like, I'll wait for them to get home. I'll explain to them. And this way they can park and everything. Like I said, I don't see any flames or anything. So we called the dispatch office, and I spoke to them, and I asked the guy to bring down a FLIR camera, right? And he's looking around. He didn't see anything, but he was up by my old burner, and he didn't like some of it. He liked the new They liked the new installation I did with the gas fired water heater, but they didn't like the old burner and something that they didn't like. And he could smell it there. Like, he's a big guy, and he I think he knew what he was smelling. I'm like. He's like, I don't think it's a dryer. I'm not seeing anything around here, but something over here. Well, he was right. He was right? Because they got done doing their thing. They cleared everything. I opened up the driveway gates so they have to traipse in through the front of the house over the snow and the filth and dragging everything out with the cats and everything. No, they just rolled up in and out of the basement through the Bilko doors and everything. And we hung out for a little bit and they left. And later on that night, because it was busy all day, back and forth, and finally... Max says, there's a really crazy noise in the basement. Can you come and listen? I'm like, shit, right? Stop what I'm doing, go back in the house. I hear it, right? I go down in the basement, and the blow-off valve, the overpressure valve for the pipes went off. And it was puking water down on top of everything and filling up the basement. And I know what that's from. Usually it's if the pressure goes too high, and the ballast tank can't handle it. And I installed that tank, and it's not really big enough. I should have put a big one in, but it doesn't matter. I've seen it go off before. And I'm looking at the pressure in the boiler, and it's deep in the red. Like, it's about ready to pin the needle. And the temperature's like well over 200, 250, something like that. It's boiling. It's making steam. Now, it's a hot water. It's not steam. It's got the big old radiators and the big pipes and everything. I'm like, oh, shit. So I shut everything off, and I told her what it was. I said, you got to leave it. Now, it's getting really cold. It was cold all day. Now it's getting really cold. Like, shut the windows, close the shades. I can't troubleshoot it yet. It's cascading all over everything, and I got to move stuff out of the way and clean up, let it cool down. So it's getting late now, and I'm tired because I'm working all the time with everything that's going on. So finally, right, I moved the shelf that was there that was in the way, and I looked down in that area where the water was going and everything. There was a bucket there. It caught some of it because, like I said, I'd seen it do this before. And I can smell something going on. And I look at my panel, and I have a panel, control panel in there. I might have a pic of it. It does hot water reset. It controls the burner. It controls to some degree, it ties in with the thermostat. And it looks at the outside air, and it says, if the outside air is 70 degrees or above, shut the burner off. I have my separate hot water heater. If it's below 70, start turning the burner on, right? Because it's going to make heat. And then the colder it gets, the warmer the water gets up to a point. Well, something went haywire. It went wild. And she said that she had just turned the heat up. She heard it click, and it seemed like it was working. And then a little bit later, she heard all this noise. So I'm like looking around. I'm trying to troubleshoot this. I don't remember. I don't think I ever did a drawing, like a blueprint drawing, a wiring diagram on the panel that I made. It's got a lot of relays and stuff in it, relay logic. I'm like, oh, crap. I've been meaning to do that, just never have, right? So I'm trying to troubleshoot this thing out, and I'm sniffing around, and I pull, there's still the old Aquastat on the side of the burner. It's got to be from like 1950 or whatever. And my friend Robbie and I were talking about relays. And earlier that day with the fireman dude, I said to him, it smells like a relay popped. He goes, yeah, it does. And I opened up the door to my panel that I made. I said, they're all like Potter Brumfield relays. He goes, oh, we work with Potter Brumfield. They're hard to get. They're expensive. I said, yeah, because he kind of knew. I said, it smells like that, but these relays don't show any sign. And look, they're lighting up and everything because I have the ones with the little LED. So when I finally pulled off the cover of the old Aquastat, right, I could see the relay literally fried, and it was like charcoal. And I guess what happened is she turned it on. It was starting to go. It was starting to burn up. And that was what I smelled. And then the very last time she went to bring the thermostat temp up, it must have pulled in and wouldn't let go. And until it smoked for the last time, but by the time it smoked for the last time, it had made so much heat. Oh my God. And, there should be another safety on that. There really should. I'll have to wire something. It shouldn't do that, but there really should. Well, there's a pressure safety on it. So, there is a safety. It's a separate mechanical safety, so to speak. That's just crazy. Abe, Johnny. So that's one of my stories. So I had to rewire in the middle of the night. Now I'm at the point now I'm trying to troubleshoot this. It's getting cold. So what I started to do was jump that relay out to bring heat onto the house to let it run for a while. And just so that the downstairs would get warm where I'm working. And so that to some degree the house would be about 55 degrees. When I got it running, it pretty much took like all night to recover because it was getting down to like 7 degrees and the wind was starting to blow. It took a long time for the house to recover naturally. Meanwhile, that was happening while I was out here because I was having serious computer issues. So I had a computer on the bench that I was setting up to do stuff to and backups to. I had this computer apart. And I'm trying to troubleshoot that. I'm literally losing files. Like it started to corrupt the drives, the hard drives, and the files. I can't really use it. I'm trying to troubleshoot that. Now I got that going on. It's snowing. I'm repairing machines. I'm trying to get bench time over here. I'm exhausted from shoveling, snow blowing, and freezing. This kind of shit just kept going on for like the past month. It's just one thing after another. Now I'm involved in yet another big project, which I'll probably show you a little bit about. So I wanted to see what you guys were up to. Actually, let me put the other glasses on because they're easier to shove on if I want to put my headset on. But yeah, I'm just shot. So I just wanted to see what you guys were up to. I wasn't sure if I was going to do one tonight because I'm tired. And my brain is frazzled. And then I got my Big Mike, so I'm working on a project for Big Mike. I'm going to show you a bit about that. I showed a little bit of welding today to Ken. He's like, it's ugly. I'm like, of course it's effing ugly. Haven't you ever made any with weld or anything? I didn't say it to him, but I'm saying it to him now. All right? Yeah, when you weld steel, I'll show it to you, but not everything comes out like super mint and beautiful. Some things make a lot of soot. MIG makes a lot of soot. And I'd put the weld-through primer underneath this top plate. And that just makes a lot of soot. Like, I really don't like doing that, but when you sandwich two plates together, and this is for a snowblower, and it's going to be wet operation, I didn't want to have nothing underneath because water will get underneath. So I'm like, I got to seal this with something, but I still need to weld through it. So that's what weld-through primer does. But it's just gross. I never liked using it. It really only works with MIG. It won't work with TIG. I tried it. You can't. It makes porous welds. It'll work with MIG, and it'll particularly work with stick because it's flux. And if you use flux core welder, like a MIG, then it's not a problem. What was I going to do? Yeah, he was like, it's ugly. Yeah, you can't see it. I'll show it to you in a minute. Let me see. And you're not going to see it on that. Hold on. What is this nonsense? Oh, breaking news. Iran's oil sites destroyed. Israel targets Mojtaba Khamenei. Oh, I don't know who that is. Yeah, I want to show you something. Let's do a video. We're going to do like a quick short. I'm going to show you how I make a short video in a minute. Because I saw some cool B1 footage and some other footage. But it's on one of these stupid 16 by 9 or 6 by 9. I don't know. It's stupid like this, right? I'm like, let's blow this up and make it righteous because it's worthy of it. So that's what I'm going to do in a minute. There's Brett. Don't forget to, hit the like button. And Bravo goes, holy cow, it's over 80 degrees. Yeah, you know what? The heat just came on. It's a little warm. Right now it's 43, and I'm getting warm. I just have a t-shirt on with me. Yeah, that's way too hot. Yeah, I turned the heat up for a little bit, but I mean, we still have snow. Even though it's been raining, we had 2 storms back to back. Each one was at least a foot of snow. at least. I think the second storm was bigger up here than the big countrywide storm that we all had. It was bigger than that. And that's how I broke a belt on my green snowblower, so that's a video coming out soon. And I'm working on Big Mike's. He picked up that tracked snowblower. It's an 826. It's a Craftsman. It's like a 20-year-old 826. Craftsman 826 silver. And it's got the tracks on it. But it's coming apart. Like the whole transmission, you know, like I'll show you, it's a box. And I was going to make like maybe we'll do that too in a little bit, where the transmission is and the motor sits on top of it. It's racked, twisted, and the motor was falling in because what happens with these is it's such thin material that the bolt areas crack and the motor started to dive in. The transmission moved, the chain destroyed a gear. It was all cockamamie, and so we happened to have another one. So from that nice, I'll show you this one. I'll show you the end of it. From that parts machine, it's just a disaster here. It's outside, like constantly. Even when I went to dig out, I don't know if you guys saw that, but I went to dig out my Toro 826. I froze my ass off that morning. And I was trying to untie all the knots and the rope and everything to hold that down. And I'm wearing like my half gloves, like the ones with the fingertips cut off. I don't know where they are. They disappeared. I just bought another set of gloves too. I don't know where they went. I was so cold. And my good boots wore out, right? So I'm wearing my other boots, but they're not as warm. They're not as tall. The snow's over a foot. So it's like in some areas it was up to my knees from the drifts when I went to come out. And my feet are freezing. So I had 3 pairs. So I would keep a pair on one heater, another pair on another heater, and one pair on me. And then I'd come in when my feet would start to freeze and swap and rotate until I was done outside. I'm like, this is fucked up, right? What is happening? MaGeddon, right? So then, and my friend contractor Mike, he wants me to work on his stuff. I'm like, bro, it's not lawn season yet. I'm still trying to, finish. Do you not see what's going on outside? He's worried about his business. He just gets hyper-focused. So, but meanwhile, I've been ignoring him because he keeps asking me. He goes, and he said this before. Hey, Arch, I want to talk to you about an idea I have that could make us at least 100,000, 100K. I won settlement with either Arians 1. He said, he spells it as the number 1. With either Arians or one of the snowblowers companies. It's so simple and absolutely genius, as well as not thought of. We can split, and I have a mower gift for you two to a nice 22. Maybe it's a Toro. Didn't want to start, but in Winching. At this point, I'm like, I got all this stuff going on. I'm like, Mike, you're hurting my brain. I'm like, dude, I'm like trying to get caught up. He's like, I know. He goes, this will make us so much money. You will be able to take off a season and rebuild your place. Maybe millions. Oh my God, right? Worth me coming by with a gift mower, plus telling you about the idea and to see what you think of it. If you steal it from you, just need to hide where I can't find you. Huh? I think I know what he means. But I'm willing to take the chance. I don't think you'd skip out on me. This idea is good. I'm like, no, thanks. Not interested. And I can't be distracted right now. I feel bad for him. Like, he wants my opinion on it. I get it. Whatever it is, it's crap. I'm going to tell the guy it's a crazy idea. It's probably a crazy idea. No one really does stuff like that. If you want to get involved in a class action suit, yeah, go sue Arians. Go sue one of those companies. There you go. Go see if you can do that. Where are you going to get the money to sue them? I don't know. What about if they sue you? You have nothing. Now you'll have nothing at all, right? It's a cockamamie idea, I'm sure of it, but I don't want to hurt the guy's feelings. Meanwhile, I'm like, bro, I have so much going on. I do not need you to waste my time. I need to stay focused. But I don't want to be a dick. Stop! Stop it, right? Stop saying those horrible, those terrible things, those weird things. And we're going to make millions. Oh my God. I remember when I was young, we just started like the apartment. My wife and I at the time, we moved in together, and one of the fellows in the neighborhood came up, and he had this idea he wanted me to invest in. It was a pyramid scheme, and we were all very young, and I'm listening to him give me this pitch. The first thing is the pitches are ridiculous. They're circular logic. The second thing is that when you say no, they don't like that. They need that. A lot of these people that are like this, what they want is validation of that they have a good idea. They want some kind of validation, which is a problem because if you tell them you're a fucking idiot, right, and that's a stupid-ass cockamamie idea, and no, I'm not getting involved, if you say it like that, they get upset. But if you don't say it like that, they keep going at you. Finally, I had to throw this kid out of my fucking apartment. I'm like, dude, please stop. You're wasting my time. The answer is no. No, you go do that, right? You go ahead. Because he had this some other idea, and I don't know, I thought I got away without saying anything about it, and that was like the month before, because I wouldn't even answer him. It's like you can't ignore these people because they won't let you. You have to just say, no, I'm not involved. I don't want to be involved. I don't want to hear it. You're going to rack my brain. My brain's already blown out and fused and melded in places from everything that's been going on. No. How about no? How about the word is no? Check this out. They don't listen. They're not going to listen. You just have to grab them by the scruff of their neck and just get out. God, it's so weird. So weird. Yeah, check this out. So this is the pictures of it, right? This is the one on the left is the one that is the donor that we have to modify and sort of fix. And the one on the right is the case, is the transmission case that's absolutely destroyed. Now, when you'll see the videos, I don't know if I want to go hunting for everything right now, but let's back up a little bit. This is at the end. I got everything on? No, I need desktop audio. Hold on. All right, switch to the weld pack. I was taking. So settings, I cleaned everything up too. Made everything nice, went over it. I know there's more glare. That's come from the window. So about 3.5 on the wire speed, and this is C, so A, B, C. And that's a good setting for this. Nice setup. This did really good. And as we can see, the welds, they look pretty good. Let me get a little pointer. Ken goes, it's ugly. Really throw it out of focus. Yeah. So, because I had sprayed it with that weld compound, this gray shit, this weld through coating, it just makes a splattery mess. You can't use a TIG. So MIG. So that there, splatter, that's porosity. That rosette good, all those rosettes good, but it doesn't matter, right? We don't care. And it's not too high, right? Especially back here we don't need to touch it. Just by this bolt here, and that's not a problem. That's not too high. That's a little high, but we'll get that. That can be easily flattened. Over here I tried the TIG, but not for this, right? Not with that compound on there. It's too much, and I had to clean it up with the MIG. That's a TIG, see? It's too much. And what I tried doing, that I think, one of these I did with the TIG. What I tried doing, like over here, was running the arc over it, heating it up, and then running my wire brush to clear out. No. Weld-through compound is for MIG, not for TIG. You got to find another solution if you want to use it. Yeah. Or just don't put it, like in the main field, you could use it, but then just don't put it anywhere near where you're going to be welding. Yep. Let me see. Let me show you what. I'll go back a day. So this is, I'm making the template for that top plate. Ah, yes. So I'm making the template. Here, and then one here. So this is the first pass of the weld. Out. I'm just removed some of the material, this epoxy coat or whatever it is. Yeah, it's epoxy. It's powder coat. And we got this guy here, which I have to allow for. So I need to notch the plate, and I've got this set up. So this was probably, like I said, to kind of shove the motor over and help place it. Yeah, it's like a bulge. And we want to make sure that
you know, we're in the right spot. So you can, it's got some to do that.
So that's
But
the
I got a
different
little bit
bolt
left.
holes. There's the
So
primer.
that way,
Let's see. Is this the one? That's after I gave it, I think, a final
all right, we got it
clean.
all prepped and ready for primer.
So
I went over.
This is TIG welded. Let me stop at a shot that. So, and I'll back up to show you why. So it had cracked really bad. The gray one had gotten so bad that the motor was falling into the box. That's how bad the gray was. I do have shots of that. This is at different stages of TIGging.
Yeah, that's good. Now that's without, I did do a little bit of sanding in a few spots, but then I hit that area and I walked this way. Like this. That's the one we're bolting into. So we're keeping it.
So it was all
You
cracked.
can put a little bit of.
Let me see if there's another shot. They're all like this.
All right,
Mine.
last
See,
look at
here
this
you go.
stage.
Here you go. Wait. So you see what I was doing here. You see these? Right. I took my die grinder with a like a needle tip on it, a conical tip, and I traced out the cracks. The metal is very thin. I forget what gauge it is. 12 gauge, maybe 14. I think it's more like 14. And what happens around the bolt holes are not reinforced. It's just a captive nut type thing that is welded, tacked underneath. And so what I did was I drilled holes at the ends of the cracks to stop the crack, and then dug it out a little bit, and then used a TIG welder so that I could lay very flush welds with very little bit of wire, and it wasn't really, you know, the bead would not stick up very much, so I wouldn't have to do much grinding. So there's less heat, less grinding, and this way I could make sure that I got good penetration and all the way through, and fuse the top plate somewhat, you know, back together again. Because if I just put the upper plate on top of this, there wouldn't be any bearing underneath. That when you pull the nuts through, you can't. You have to fix what's underneath before you can put something on top. So I'm working with this and setting it up for the TIG. And the TIG is nice because for something like this, it doesn't require, like I said, much filler. Here, you can see it here.
Yeah, that's locked in.
See, it's like almost
Came out
no
really nice.
material.
I did probably put a little bit of that crease back,
You just want to fuse it.
but we'll have to see. I might want to try
The
laying
TIG is
some
so
washers on this. I think if you
controllable.
lay a washer on it, it'll work well. It'll spread it. Now that it's repaired,
I was
we
thinking
have
about
a
a
base.
washer. I'm like, no, this is bad. This is not going to work. Do I have anything else here? Let's see. I have the full layout of this thing. But I'm not ready to show all of that. This is the machine. And it's got the 8 horsepower motor on it. And it was laying so crooked. It was literally bent over. And I think I have a shot somewhere. This is Mike and I taking some of it apart.
there's Mike.
Mike, what are you doing?
Just to
Stop
look.
screaming, Arch. I can't help it, fellas. That's cool. That's a nice
Go
mechanism.
slow.
There's so
And then
much
over
bolted to
here-
this.
I'll measure.
It's so
I think we take here
overloaded.
and here, and we'll put it up on its face.
Really, we can just.
I mean, we can
paint and they'll give you the.
What we can do now is we could just floor or something.
All right, so
Because
do I
that's what I'm
have-
thinking is
Yeah, we're just hanging. There is a shot somewhere. Oh, wait. Here's the cats. Wait, hold on, fellas. I was trying to show Brett, but my phone is garbage. I got a story for that. I'm getting a phone soon. Look at these guys. Look at these idiots. There's the crime family, right? The feline crime family. They're like looking over, peeking over. There's little Missy right over here. That is Binks, the older brother, the oldest one. And Peter, or Beanie, is right here. And that's Mama back there looking over, right? That's her brood. Here they are. Oh, boy. Missy's a little slut. Okay? She's something, right? And they all want a piece of her. Mom won't tolerate that. right? She went, oh, look at the crow. There we go. There's the crow. Right? So that's Peter, Beanie. That's Mama Marley, right? That's Dinks, the big boy. And that's Missy back there, right? Little slut walking out the window, right? You see how, there's the parts machine. And I was going to put it back together. So Tony, TJM, hey, Tony. He's getting some parts too, right? And I was going to kind of fix it. I wanted the motor. I was going to put a 5.5, which will bolt right on. That's what the extra set, see the extra set of holes? And a 5.5 is correct for that chassis. An 8 horsepower is so big and heavy. And then when you add the extra barrel on and everything, yeah, it got a little schmutz in there. Yeah, but we cleaned it up. It's got like 125 pounds of compression. So I cleaned that up. Anyway, that's another story. Let me come back this way. I think I have, there might be a shot of, they're, like I said, they're about 20 years old. I think this one might be it.
All right. I set up with a simple template. Now I can
that's
just
making a
remove it.
template. That was making another template. So there is a shot somewhere of me explaining. It might be on, what was it, 3.5? It's 3.4. This is the other 3.3. There's a shot somewhere. We punched the bearings out. We had to change the bearings. They're configured a little bit differently. In here, as you can see, some of the gears. But this gear in here, so you see that gear right there on the angle? Well, that's kind of where it was sitting, like that, on that angle. And it had destroyed this upper gear, which
So
is...
even though the guy tried to beef it up, he just did not do quality work.
Yeah, he
Boy,
did
that
not.
one was really beat up.
So
watch this. All right, that's going to stay.
and he welded it, and it didn't
So
take.
it's broken.
Everything this
So
guy
that's
did.
good, but unfortunately...
So this shaft and this gear was on such an occluded angle that it destroyed the gear above it. And I said to Mike, Mike, that's not right. He goes, are you sure? I'm like, Mike, you can't have something on that much of an angle, right? That's why it destroyed it. So, but all of the parts are interchangeable, but there are some differences in the bolt holes and a few other things. So we proceeded to, I mostly proceeded to go and swap things out and remove it. There, you can almost see the gear back there.
I
I
just
can't
finished
zoom
hooking
in
up
from
with
here.
Mike. Belts are on the way.
Let me lower that down a little bit. But I'm taking this section off, and everything is getting swapped over and modified. See, here we're working on swapping out the bearings, the bushings, in the press.
Mike's setting up.
Socket, a bolt.
Yep.
It's a lot of fun.
The other shaft from the green can, which is a little different.
Good.
So I'm thinking what happened is this box got
Look at
racked.
How nice. Am I zoomed out all
It
the way?
failed. It got racked. Somebody was in it. It got all twisted.
Should work. And
There's
now
not a
I
lot
got
of
all the-
support.
Line it up on the bottom.
Yeah.
And
And I'll show you right out of the way. Hold on. I'll move this
I'm
over
like,
a
let's
little bit.
let's grab the green one since we have it,
Can't see shit.
And this way.
and we'll swap things over. But that one was cracked too. And I'm willing to bet my green snowblower is the same way because mine's a Murray body. Crash
The
that
last
big
time you
30
did it,
30-inch, 11 horsepower. Yeah,
What you singing?
yeah, it's probably just as cracked.
Oh, that one went no problem. Now we can go all the way. The other one popped. There we go. So now we gotta do the same thing. That was our test.
Yeah, we did the same thing,
That should work.
and then pretty much set up with this guy. So there's two sets of holes. So you take the bushings out,
Same kind of setup.
and you reinstall them in the other holes. And you got to have the right axle shaft and the right gear.
It did want
The chains may be the same length,
I don't
but
even need this bolt.
I'm not sure. I'm not up that far yet, but it doesn't matter because he got me two master links.
Anyway, might help. Not like it's an issue.
So here we wound up installing the bushings on this green box. They're like bronze oil light bushings.
This one I want to have. Block.
So this is like a big
That way I'm not banging anything.
bearing, bushing,
then Mike holds
U-joint,
it,
ball
and I
joint
just run it in.
installation tool.
Yeah, we can see just about everything.
Looking good.
Looking good.
You see how it flops around in the breeze? See what I'm saying? They're not very strong. They're made out
So
of
we gotta
tin.
check to make sure that it's still square, but it'll drive it in all the way flush.
Well, that plate is gonna make it.
Yeah, it's gonna end up correct.
That's a great tool. What is that for?
This is OTC. This is for doing ball joints,
okay.
big ball joints, your U joints. I did the half shafts on Tyler's, Jeep. It was over at Oakland. So tomorrow I'll clean this off.
Yeah, so that's all nice and clean. That's all set up. I'm almost done. Let's see, anything else in here that'd be worthy? There's more than what's just going to be in the video. I think this is just a little bit of TIG welding. Some random shots that I'll throw in there at some point. Yeah, it's always pleasant. What's nice about the TIG torch is that it's so controllable. It's kind of like brazing. It's a lot like brazing. And then the final setup, setting up for this plate that I made. So I made a template so I can do the same thing to mine. Because I can guarantee you that my box is
All
the
right, I'm
same.
almost done.
It's probably
I
just
spotted the
starting.
holes as per.
Unibits are great. I love Unibit.
Really big holes for.
And I think this is the last one. This is a bit of MIG welding to finish up. So, yeah, always nice. Yeah, always fun. All right, I like welding. It's fun. So I think this is the last. Yeah, and this is now it's ready for paint. It's all clean.
All right, it's all washed, super clean, and Scotch brighted. Scotch Brit. Yeah, there's some nice welds right there. That's not bad. This was porous because I tried the TIG.
I think I showed you that initially.
So, like I said, you can't put this gray undercoat.
Everything lays
And
flat.
Flux core would be good for that.
So there was another one. I thought I had one with the motor on it from the other night. Yeah, here we go. Quick test fit.
Yeah, it fits nice. Put the bolts in. I tightened it up good because I want to, pull up and pull out.
There's
any
no real
distortions.
support.
But yeah, I think you could get away with.
And all that
Sure, we
force.
could get away with a small washer. I don't know. Let me see what I have. So these motors, you see, it's got like ears. So washer.
But anyway,
bolt and everything.
let me come back. So there's really no support. You got the weight of the motor being pulled forward by all the belts, the handle in the back where you're going like this, and the tire is going like this, the weight up and down, the stress to the auger in the front, which is all kind of twisting and racking. And meanwhile, this is made out of relatively thin sheet metal, and it's like every design. There's another fault of design on this thing. Now, I like my green snowblower, and you're going to see it soon because I'm going to do like a 3-part series because I had to go over it. It did great in the storm. It really did. I got some footage of that. It did great. You're talking about dealing with snow that's above the can. And this is a 30-inch can. So the snow is above the can. So you're going like this a lot, right? To try to scoop it. And then it got so bad out front of the house that my daughter gave, and at that point I couldn't even think straight. I'm trying to clear the apron, and my daughter's like, "Dad, why don't you let me shovel the top off? Because it's over the snowblower." First I was like, "No, I can do it," and she's just started doing it. I'm like, "That's a good idea, Tay. Shovel it in, just stand out of the way of the auger, right? In case you slip or something." and it did fine. The problem is that I'll get a shot of it, that the chute area where it comes out of the impeller, the second stage, it's a rectangle. The big Toro is a big hole, and it mounts differently, and it's a much bigger barrel, for that impeller auger. And so nothing gets clogged in it. These guys are a rectangle, and that throat narrows down, and if the snow gets a little too wet or whatever, you pick because it rained and then it snowed and then it started to melt and then it started to freeze. If you get the wrong snow consistency, it'll lock up there like a brick mold. And then I couldn't use it. I had to dig out the 826, the Toro. And that happened while Mike was here because we went to dig me out around back so I could get to the parts machine because it was buried in a foot of snow. So we had to get the Toro. If you move forward at the right pace and keep enough snow coming in and do at the right forward pace and keep that chute just filled and the auger just filled right and the velocity going where it's throwing it out 10 feet or more, then it probably won't clog up, at least not right away. And that's what I found I was able to do. But if you get it gets too wet, let's say maybe you go out there at noon or whatever and it's starting to get warm and that's a good time to go out. Well, maybe not. It could clog up and it'll be useless. Whereas the Toro 826 does not have that problem. That said, it's a very comfortable machine. Mine is very comfortable to use. All the controls are up top. You're in a very nice position. It's very easy to use for such a stressful job out there in horrible weather and for hours. If everything's working good, it is an easy machine to use. It has electric start, and so it's got a lot of the features. I have the full chute command and up or down and left or right. Everything's from the console. The 826 is a bit of a brute. It's hard to manage. It gets the job done. It's difficult to use, and it's a heavy machine. It will go through anything. So, but I just wanted to show you guys a little bit about that, which I thought was pretty cool, and see what you guys are up to. Yeah, let's see. Let me back up. So Mad says, hello, Uncle Archie. And he goes, I'm mad absolutely. Something like that. Yes, David goes, Aerosmith. Yep. Aerosmith. Yeah. 80 in Pittsburgh today. That's crazy. Bravo says, hey, Arch, gents. Little Johnny and Robert. He goes, you are a smart dude, Arch. Hey, Jamie O. Holy cow, it's over 80 degrees here today, Bravo says. That's crazy. Papa's here. Papa Creech. Right? Geez, Arch, I thought I had a bad week. This wasn't just a week. This just kept happening. And then another storm and another crazy thing we had to do. And I'm like, oh, my God. I finally just got overwhelmed. I'm like, I just can't. I can't. I got it. And the computer is just, I finally got it working pretty good. It seems like it's working all right. In fact, it's working even better than before. Let me see real quick. Well, while I'm talking to you guys, I just want to run a speed test. Hold on. But, I can't get to Windows 8, though, unfortunately. I mean, Windows 11. I'm stuck on Windows 10, which is basically Windows 7, Windows 8, Let's see. Let's change the server to around the corner. Let's see. So I found a few more issues. I had to reload the entire computer from a different hard drive because the other operating system was getting so bad that it was corrupting my files as I was working on it. And I actually did lose a few files from that. And I was like running out of time. I'm like, I can't keep turning this thing on because the drives would go into error. I couldn't run my cameras because it wouldn't recognize the PCIe USB card. Look at this. And then I set up with my backup computer. I had to spend another $300 on a 10 terabyte hard drive, which I set up inside. It was like $250, $249-ish, $229, something like that. I set it up in this computer. It took 20 hours, right, to move something like 6 or 7 terabytes to copy it from. And that's not all of the files that I have. Because I told you guys, I have years worth of videos that you may never see. I may never get to them. Years. I could stop right now and just work on that. So almost 10 terabytes to that other computer. I finally got it running, got everything stabilized, got the backup going, and I let it run, and then I had to put everything back and do some more testing, and finally got it stable. But it's an older computer, and like I said, I can't get to Windows 11 or 12's a myth. I don't think that'll ever happen. So now I'm trying to figure out some other plans, I've got a nice set of backup routines, additional backup routines, and I don't know, I might just go to Microsoft and buy the extended plan and it'll get me to October, but there's other possibilities too. But when the hell am I going to have time? Look at how, now this is the speed I'm at now. So this is my internet. So now I'm at 455.35 megabits per second down and 464.30 megabits per second up, right? Because I also did some work to the network system itself. And that's nice. I mean, we should have, as long as I pay my bill, right, I shouldn't have any problems. But that took time. So all of this stuff, so I'm like working like round the clock and then taking breaks and taking naps and the phone issue, because my phone is just shot. So my buddy Matt, an old gaming buddy who I taught how to do computer work and run servers and shit, he's got an upgraded video card. It's like, it's not great, but it was nice. It wasn't like a top of the line, but like a few years ago. It's a generation newer than this one, and it's fast, so that'll help with video editing and stuff. But he wants $250 for it. Okay, that's not bad for a card of that caliber. It's pretty good. And he's got a newer Samsung phone, but new, more modern. It's only a couple years old, and the only reason, it was one of the ones he really wanted. He's going to give that to me for $50, so I need $300 to give him so that he can ship this stuff out. His mom got a plan with Verizon. They got an extra phone, and he actually got like the absolute top of the line with all the bells and whistles, right? And he's on the plan with his mom. So she wanted to, do something for him, because he moved out, he's with his lady and everything, So mom tries to help out, I get it. So he's like, I don't need it, like I really like the phone and everything. So he updated it and went through it and cleaned it up, and so everything's all in a package, just waiting for me when I pay him. But I don't have the money. I gotta get back to work. So that will solve the phone issue. And because I can't do anything with this phone, I can't watch my own YouTube channel on this phone because I can't update the iOS to match the update to Google and YouTube updates. So I can't run a short. I can't watch my own stuff on my channel. I can't watch on YouTube. I definitely can't do like anything like go on like a Ken's Live or whatever with this thing. I've tried it. It's done. It's done. I can get text messages and phone calls. That's it. And the drive is all full, and I'm like, all right, I got to get the shit out of there. Right? I was trying to send pictures to Big Mike. It's like, no, you're full. You got to get rid of some shit. I'm like, I've been trying. It doesn't hold a lot. Crazy. Absolutely crazy shit. It's just too much to do. It's too much. But I think the weather's going to be changing. So it's getting a little bit warmer out. He goes, man, it says, Archie, love the up lighting you got shining up to you. Huh? What does that mean? What lighting? The up lighting? This light? Where? Where's what light? Man says, hello, Brett. How are you doing today? It's been a while since we talked on the phone. Well, you guys should call each other. He goes, you have to show that clip I sent you of Roxy walking around squeaking. Yeah, I don't know where that is. I have no idea where that is at this point. I lost some of my important emails, too. I got to figure out and see how I can get that back. I have not wrapped my brain around that yet. I think I can do it, but, this vintage engine repairs. He goes, hey, lad. Bravo says, got a new snapper rear engine rider project this week, Arch. 2012 model. Ooh, that's a new one. Looks brand new. $50. Wow. Wouldn't start. Yeah. Yeah, some guy just hit me up on one of my Snapper videos. He goes, Arch, it was on a carb video, and he hits me up, and he's like, Arch, I got wet plug, and it's not starting, and I look under the seat, and this wire's hanging off. Could that be the problem? I'm like, yep, probably. Probably other things. And I'm like, I have a video in the folder, in the playlist for wiring. And I'm like, go check that one out. I'm like, good luck. No one will watch anything. And you guys are so bad. Shame on you. What's the shame on you? Curlers in your hair. Remember that one? You guys don't want to, small engine guys do not want to learn electricity and stuff. I don't get it. Like, yeah, you got to learn it. You got to learn it. It's too late. You got to learn it. I'm like, check that video out, maybe. And this stuff is easy. It's like today they were talking about that Nova unit, and the one dude was like, yeah, you got to lift the ground. I'm like, it's called lifting the ground, right? I wrote lift ground or something, but it's called lifting the ground. When you lift the ground on something, certain circuits prefer that, but a lot of times what you'll see in safety circuits, and this used to frustrate the hell out of me when I first started doing a lot of this work, relay logic and wiring logic and stuff like that. There's something called reverse logic, but this is close to reverse logic. Sometimes forward logic is when everything goes usually from the positive, it's DC, from the positive side, and you're always switching that or doing something with it. And ultimately, on one end, there'll be a switch. There could be a bazillion other switches and other things to modify it in the middle. But at some point, it turns a light on, or it turns a motor on, but sometimes when it comes to safety circuits, for logic like that, you run out of feasible pathways, okay? And so what you wind up doing, if you try, you can't interrupt those lockouts or lock-ins, especially with relays, because they're either naturally energized or naturally de-energized. So you run out of a pathway. So what you do is you use the other side of the circuit, which is ground. Now on Mike and I, with the Sunstars, the front PTO does that. So the PTO, in order for it to come on, or in order for you to turn the PTO off, you lift the ground. Positive is always applied to the PTO if it makes it through the other circuits, the safety circuits. If the ignition is on, so the general procedure is, if the ignition is on and all of the other safety circuits are closed, i.e. a seat switch, etc., positive will be applied to the main terminal on the PTO. What turns the PTO on is you complete the circuit by closing the ground switch to on, which grounds the side of the PTO, which allows the PTO on to go on, turn on, pull in, right? And so when you turn the switch off, it lifts the ground. But all of the other circuits are made if the engine is on, the ignition is on, and you're still driving it. There's still power there because you're still driving it. So you've proved out everything else. So sequence of operation is completed. You just simply have turned off the switch. Now, if the switch is on and one of the other safeties, i.e. you fall off the seat, right, and the switch is made, then that seat switch breaks or interrupts the positive circuit and the PTO goes off, but ground is still made. And you're on your back and the engine will stall and the PTO will go off and it might run you over, but at least you won't turn into mash and dinner for the night for all the critters around. So a lot of people don't understand that stuff. And when I rewired it, one of the fellows wrote in, he goes, I don't think you know what you're doing, because I removed the control box. I completely removed it. And by the way, some guy wanted to make a control box and he was hitting me up and everything, and he was mapping it all out, and I never got a chance to talk to him or chat with him because I was so busy. And then I lost all that email, and I don't know who he is now. And he was doing a really good job too. And so if you ever hear this, hit me up again, all right? And we can reconnect. Yeah, I hate it. I hate losing stuff. Hate it. Sucks. So that sounds like a good project, And he goes, runs now, though. Yeah, I bet it does. Yep. Bro, I was like, it runs now. Hey, Mitch. Mad says, the light on the desk in front of you. Oh, this little guy? Yeah, it is a nice little, one of my cheap little lights. Depending upon, which camera I'm running, what frame rate, and what setting I have it on, it will flicker. Or at least that's what it looks like. That can be annoying. He goes, Brett, yes, resend it, Brett. I'll put it on up here. Hold on. So we can see it right and proper. I'll get dinged when you resend it. Yeah, it'll come through. And we'll put it on this monitor so that we can see it proper. Instead of me holding up this stupid phone. It'll come through. Yeah, that's my friend Matt. I see him on there. So Matt's going to hook me up. Papa says, he goes, have you got the new channel up and running? Yeah, I did. I got like 2 videos out. Plus, I put out some of my music shorts. They got like 3 views. A lot of what you're going to put out on a channel when you first start is fodder. It's just to kind of turn the channel on. But I did do 2 videos, like one intro video, which got a handful of views. Again, fodder, Twickie. It's like 10 minutes. And then I put a video out on the issues that I have with the internet and some educational shit. And I don't know, I think it's just under 2,000 views. Oh, here's Brett's thing. Hold on. Let's set it up. So I got like 2,000 views on that. But I was trying to get some stuff done, and then everything went the whole world. And now we're in some kind of crazy-ass war, which God knows what's going to happen from that. Like, oh my God, what another nightmare. I mean, it's good. It's good in a way, but, it's just going to suck for everybody. This is going to be horrible. But it's time, right? It's time. Hold on, let me cue this up. Hold on, let me go. Can I go full screen on this? Oh, backwards. Oh, she's kind of a cute lady. Some guitarist of some kind. So can I go? Yeah, here we go. Let's get the audio up. Hold on. I'm setting it up, Brett. Hold on. Yeah, the audio's up. All right. All right, monitor. This is Brett's cat. It's cat night. He's cute. It's she, rather. Mine's got little testy balls down there. I got 2 of them like that. They want to cut them off this week. I'm like, stop!
Roxy.
Listen.
She's a geegee.
Brett, shut up. Hear it?
Kitty, 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 kitty.
Shush, Brett. Let me hit a cat. Squeaks like my Missy. Yup. You're grumbling?
Roxy. She's a geegee. Kitty, 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 kitty.
Yeah. She's happy. So she's humming and purring and squeaking. That's too funny. Now, what's the other one? Hold on. Let's see. There was another one. It's this one. Let's set this one up. Hold on. Yeah, the volume's up.
Roxy.
Oh.
Meow.
That's the best one.
Kitty, 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 kitty. Meow.
Yeah. That's cute, Brett. Oh, I'm coming back. Let's see here. We'll go here. So I got something for us, too. That was cute. Darwin Z is just perked up. Yep. Hey, Darwin. Yep. Let me see if I have it here. I have it here. A little something fun. A little weirdo shit fun. Oh, here we go. You guys ready? All right. I'm going to shut up. Stay tuned. Let the mayhem begin.
Oh my god! Again.
Mama? Mama? Okay. Mama?
Oh my god!
That's my miss. It's not, but it is. Huh?
Ever wonder what the cream in an Oreo cookie is actually made of? Better sit down for this one.
That cream isn't cream at all. It's rapeseed oil mixed with emulsifiers. Emulsifiers are used to glue oil and sugar together, so it stays smooth. Even when it isn't real food. The cookie part isn't chocolate either. It's stripped cocoa and chemical stabilizers. Fake never looked so real. They remove most of the cocoa fat, then rebuild the powder with stabilizers and conditioners, so they last forever. And if these things were made to last forever, what happens when you try to burn it? Notice how it doesn't burn? Ah! It glows! What kind of natural food do you know of that does this? Food doesn't usually do that. But materials do.
You're already infected. Brain rot reels.
This is the Weather Channel. Coming up right after your local forecast, we'll have more weather information from across the nation, right here on the Weather Channel.
Meet the Ford Ranger Mower, classic truck style built to tame your turf. With a 42-inch triple blade deck and a 17-horsepower V-twin, it's power you can feel. Diamond plate steps, tight 18-inch turning radius, and a real utility bed for all your gear.
Dilly!
I don't want your man. Your man's still calling me, trying to give me the seeds that he wants me to be with him, but he ain't the one for me. No, I don't want your
Write that down.
Cause I got it right there, and it ain't even gotta be like that. And your man just calling you back.
Please follow Brad to the pit of misery.
Ever wonder why you can't get enough of my fries? People think these are just potatoes, but they're not. After cutting, they're chemically treated. That controls color and consistency, so they last forever. They're partially fried in seed oil before you ever see them. This locks in texture. You don't care though, right? These were made weeks ago, sometimes months. Our supply is endless. Real potatoes don't look like this naturally. We modify all of our potatoes to make sure they all have the same look and consistency. They're designed to sit and still look the same forever. Still hungry? It doesn't really need to be genetically modified. The process does the work.
Introducing the Rhinestone and Stud Setter. It changes everyday clothing into exciting fashions. Simply mark your material, insert a stud or rhinestone, and push gently. It works so easily that anyone can stylize jeans, jackets, pants. On leather, it's sensational. The Rhinestone and Stud Setter by Ronco.
Over 1 million sold at $9.98. This Christmas, you save over $2. It's only $7.77.
You ever wonder why the McRib keeps disappearing? Ha! It's because this isn't pork. We press every slab fresh, straight from the source, you know? Look at these beauties. You can't get ribs this perfect from a pig. You love the taste, right? This is where we get the flavor, right here. Frozen fresh from yesterday's batch. You are what you eat. We couldn't make these without you, the people.
Yeah, you, and you're eating what you are.
No, like literally.
We never said what kind of ribs. Now did we?
It's a new year. I'm the same motherfucker.
Yeah.
It's a new year. I'm the same motherfucker. Everybody wanna be brand new. Not me, I'ma do what I do. Ain't
It's down.
shit but the year I'm in. Same dope ass nigga I always been. I might change my clothes. I might change my home. But as for me, I'm the same fly ass motherfucker that y'all know.
Dilly dilly. Oh, I thought that was good, right? We can all get down. Same fly ass motherfucker. Yeah, that was great. Did I not screw with your brain a little bit? Right? So if you just, I'll leave you with these two thoughts, right? Before I want to go take a quick leak and then I want to do something. Let me leave you these two thoughts, right? McDonald's, there has been human DNA found in some of their burger meat along, I believe, with allegedly with Burger King, what have you. And there's a whole line of conspiracy that gets us into that, which I will not go into here. And the other thing is, why on an Oreo cookie is a double cross, right, image on it, right? What's a double cross? Look into that. And you'll start to understand allegedly what Nabisco really is and what they do. And it's a very large company and some of this crap that they've been involved in. And another hint, I'll just let you know, well, just take a look at the past several years of what's been going on in the music industry, right? With the Epstein files, what's been going on in Hollywood and what your halftime shows have been all about. Can somebody mention Satan? Oh my God. It's just crazy and I'm sick of it, right? And I'm just getting tired of it. So find out, don't eat that garbage. It's bad for you. Don't pray to Satan. Don't get involved in that. And, it's a new year, so I'm the same fly-up motherfucker I've always been, right? So let's just take a quick leak, and then I want to show you guys, I want to just do a quick little video short edit, because I want to show you guys some B-1 Bomber and some other real fly-ass, right, stuff, some really cool stuff. But it's on a short, and I want to sort of blow it up and real quick and just kind of throw something together real quick to end it, and then we'll play it. And just to show you guys a little bit what I do and how quick you can kind of do a video and make it a little bit nicer and take, because I get this stuff off the web or wherever and I modify the content like I just did and have some fun with it, right? But let's go over to the pee lady real quick because I do want to take a quick pee break. So if anybody wants to do a little chaw or something, or if you want to leave and go find something else to do, I'll see you guys on the next one. But I'll be right back. Stand by. Okay, lady, wipe up the seat or move over or just stand out of the way because you got to go now. So let's move her out of the way, because she's in the way. Come back. All right, lady, you gotta go. So I want to show you guys this real quick. He goes, hello, hey Brock. It's Chaka. So I caught a couple of Lewis's videos. He just did one that was like a bloopers video. I didn't get a chance to say anything on it yet, but he was like total. I get like that once in a while. It's kind of rare, but it does happen. I just did a little shoot on something, and I was getting tired, and you just have a moment of like you just kind of lose it, go full retard. But it happens. And then there was another one you did the other day. You were working on that motor, that Honda motor. I forgot to say anything. And sometimes I just sit here. Like I told you guys, I'm sitting here, I'm relaxing. I'm like, keyboard, can't reach. Keyboard, want to text, can't reach. I just don't want to. I don't want to get up. I mean, there's several nights where I've come out here. I mean, sometimes I go in and take a nap, but there's several nights where I'm done at the end of the day and I'm sleeping. I'm done, Oh, let me see what you guys are. Yeah. Sup, buddy? Mad says, I should have paid attention to that. Yep. Mark says, hey, all crazy Canadian here. Hope everyone is well. He goes, wife just finishing a bout of shingles. Ooh, those are the worst. And not the house kind. Yeah. Itchy. I don't think I've ever had that, though. That comes from like chicken pox / the other one, right? You can get that. You get it later on. Not chicken pox, the other one. Measles. Sorry to hear that. I'll pray for her. Yes. Brett says, sending back that aftermarket Tecumseh electric starter mounts to the block, but too close. Gear doesn't engage the flywheel. Oh, can you shim it? Can you modify it? That's my glory, right? I'm like, let's make it fit. I'll make it fit. My will. Okay. My will survives. I will do it. Right. That's what this whole, 24/8, the 826, the Craftsman 826 is about, right? Making it work. Because it's a nice machine. It really is a nice machine. And I'm telling you, my green one, I bet you it has the same problem. It just hasn't gotten really that bad because it's in really nice shape. It just doesn't have the hours on it yet. But they're all going to crack like that if they're not already cracked. So most people would just throw it out. But that's not my gig. Right. I'm going to put it on YouTube, but I don't think anybody will really watch it. Honestly, because, most small equipment guys would never do anything like that. They would never think to do anything like that. They just wouldn't do it. They wouldn't want to do it. They wouldn't look to do it. They want the easy, money and whatever. It's only the guys that want to do restorations. There are those guys out there. That's what I want to tap into now moving forward. That's really my game, That's what I really like. I'm done doing mowers and everything else. Like I've got so many of them on my channel. It's like John says, because the world definitely needs another carburetor video out there. No, it doesn't. Like I still have a few more to put out, and that's enough. I'm done now. No more blade sharpening and whatever. No, I can't keep doing that. The world does not need yet another carburetor video. Sorry, Lou. Right? I watched it anyway, like some of it. I'm like, but no, it doesn't need it. It doesn't. Like, I try to rush through it. Although I'm about to release one anyway. It's horrible. It's like, stop, make this stop. Well, it's because I put an old carburetor on my nice green Craftsman, Murray, right? Takumi motor. And I have the 11 horsepower cast iron sleeved engine, which I'm quite proud of. Now, the 8 Big Mike's is an 8 horsepower cast iron sleeve. So those are nice motors. Yeah, for sure. I think it's worth saving. He goes, for Lou, he goes, I appreciate you, Arch. Thank you, brother. I appreciate you too, and all you guys. Absolutely. And I've been wanting to do a live, but it's like, it's not going to happen. Even Ken asked me, and I'm like, no, I just wound up chatting with him on the phone. I'm like, no, I can't. My brain is fried. You know that. It's fried anyway. And then I tip over to the other side. And part of it, too, is I actually get quiet. Believe it or not, Big Mouth gets quiet every now and then. I do. I get quiet. And you know what really hurts is when you're talking to your family, you're talking to your customers, you're talking to a couple of friends, and then you're talking to a camera like every day. And then after all of that and you're tired, you got to get a video out at least once a week. And now you got to listen to yourself, right, as you're editing. And it's like, oh my God, enough of this. You know, no more. Make it stop. Now that I have the TV paid off, next step is Pender lift. Yeah, right? Yeah. Papa says, would love that lift table like yours, but I would have to settle for a Vibor 500-pound lift table. That's not bad. I hope you don't regret it. Yeah. I also made in the shop that table that you see, this table here. Here. This is on my channel. I'll just show you real quick. Plus, I wanted to put the other thing up. Anyway. But this table here. In fact, I just lowered it. That's one look. So that's got the vise.
It fits.
And over there is a crank handle. So I made this. This is on my channel. And it goes up and down. And I just needed to move it today twice because I was welding. And I wanted it up higher. Then when I went to grind, there's another spot where I went to grind. Oh, let me stop it. I just want to show it. I went to grind, and the grind was up in my face, and it was uncomfortable, so I lowered it down, right? And that's what I like about these adjustable tables. Now, I also have an electric table that I have not put together yet. I haven't modified it. It's most likely an exam table for a veterinarian or something to that effect. But I have all of it except for like a proper top. And I was thinking maybe stainless steel, or I might make another welding table out of it or something. I just haven't gotten to it yet. But I wanted to show you guys this here. We're going to work on this thing. He goes, hey, Arch, how's that lathe coming along? I got a little bit further with it, and I think there might be, I'll just look up, but we were noodling around with it. He's, oh my God, I'm looking at all this snow. Oh, wait, yeah, wait. Last look at the snow real quick. The fleet.
All right, we got the fleet out.
The fleet.
You can see how high it is. In most cases, it was above the barrel, as you can see here. But not everywhere. Like over here and out front, it was above the barrel. So I'm all fueled up. It's day 2. And I got some people coming over. Big Mike's coming over. Big Dave's coming over. So I wanted to show you. They're all gassed up, and I just sprayed them with silicone. So you got the big auger there, and then, let me get out of the light. And then you got this big, impeller here, second stage, and this is really where this machine really shines, but it's just so hard to use it. So you've got to really, it was able to dig out the gates, and you can see it's still got a lot to move. And I was able to cut through a lot of this because it clogged up the green one. So basically you have to pick it up and move it over to the side. We got to pick it up again. We got to move some of it because we got to move some of this next.
Holy shit!
That's coming, but at least it's passable for now, right? It's better. So this is all lubed up and warmed up and, for the most part, ready to go. I want to let the machines get cold. But Big Mike's coming. We got to try to get his machine back here somewhere. So this one's got a slightly smaller impeller. It has a big barrel, standard, auger. But the hole here, I'm in your light no matter what. How do I get out of your light? That's a little bit better. That's where it locked up. It's frozen, solid. I had to bring it in, and then I brought it in, and I let it drip dry. So we got to get the boys in. They're coming. Big Mike will be here in a bit. And then, maybe with Mike here, I'll just go and make a path to here. It looks like we might have some good going. And get our parts machine out.
So that's a Murray.
And then once that's done, we'll drag everything around.
So that green machine, that's the same case as what I'm working with, what I'm modifying, right? For Mike's machine, the silver 826 Craftsman. And I'm willing to bet that motor is cracking the top and it's going to fall apart and wreck the gears and blow it apart because they're about 20 years old, although mine is nicer because it just doesn't have the hours on it. But I wanted to show you guys. Let me move away from here. So we're going to just kind of fix this real quick. Where is it? This is under OBS. So this is actually us recording right now. That's the live show in record. It's going to remux to MP4. But anyway, that's another story. Let me bring this up. And I just want to show you what we're going to do. Hold on. I'm going to bring it over here.
That is a B2 stealth bomber. The chief told us this.
That's sick.
Today. And
Right.
we fly around the carrier. It's like a morale boost for the sailors.
That's damn near vertical. So let's stop it for a second.
Stealth bomber flying over us, just firing stuff. This thing is awesome. Look at that thing.
Okay.
It's so loud.
How do I stop it?
I love it.
Here it is here. All right, so let me come back. And hold on, working on it. So I don't know if you, those of you may know or may not know, I actually have 2 aviation licenses. I don't use them because it was a dream of another me when I was younger, but I do actually have that. And I haven't been doing anything with it. And we'll get to the lathe at some point. But I haven't done anything with it. Let me see. Can I minimize this? How do I do it? Yeah. And somewhere I was working, this is all on the computer. So I had all those problems with the belts. And was it, oh my God, is it last year? Is it the end of last year? Because the time has just gone by. That's computer stuff. It's more snow. Hold on, I'm just looking. This is it, yeah. I think this is it. Yeah, let's just noodle around with this. I think it starts on this one. Shut up. Shut up,
I
Arch.
had a lot of problems getting that belt to stay on. And after doing all that work and trying to align everything and realign it, I got it to the point where it was mostly staying on. And then Big Mike was here and we were just chatting and I picked up some belt dressing. And I hadn't had a chance to address the belts yet. So this is just a CRC food grade, right? And come in contact with, I guess, I wouldn't say it's edible, but at least it won't kill you right away. So we're all ready to go. The day he was here, like towards the end when we were hanging out on Saturday or Sunday, I think it was Sunday, which is a few days ago now, I sprayed it on, and before he left I tried it and it ran fine. And then the next day I tried it a couple of times, but I've been busy. So let's try it again. So normally it might tend to stay on better in reverse. Let's try it. Let's see what happens. Let's just give it a shot. No problem. Stays right where I need it. And it's been sitting at, what they tell you is to let it sit overnight or for a few hours. But yeah, it's been sitting, yeah, for days. No problem. Let me get you in and take a look.
Yeah. So I made that reversing switch and that box and all of that, and I realigned the motor and modified the mount and finished it because it wasn't finished, and I did a lot of work to it, which eventually these videos will start coming out. So let's go to this here.
All right, so you can see, just, food grade CRC, the newer stuff. There's our control panel. All right, we're set up low speed. So we're going to start off in forward and just watch the belt. Let me turn a little light on if it helps. Dead solid. Shut it off. Let's go to reverse. We got to wait for it to stop. Dead solid. I like it. Loving it.
Yeah, that is locked on. All right, let me come back. That is locked on. that whole episode of my life of working with that lathe, and again, eventually will release these videos, but making the reversing switch box, converting the motor to reversible, and then converting the motor to 220 volt, and then trying to figure out how to mount it properly because it wasn't mounted properly, and realigning everything. And even with all of that, I used a plumb bob. The only thing I didn't use was a laser level, but I used levels and bubbles and squares and T-squares and right angle squares and rulers. And I'm like, oh my God, why is this belt coming off? Well, finally, I got everything. There is two conical pulleys, and I'm like, this should not be happening, but they are new belts. And so finally, just like researching this, all of the old timers and the youngins that, learn from the old timers fooling around with this older stuff, they're like, try, either the rosin belt dressing or some spray on. And they said it can really help because some of these guys are restoring the overheads. And Mike just showed me another lathe with really nice one. That is the same kind of a setup. So I'm like, let's just try belt dressing. And Mike was there, and we were all like, what? Because I showed him as soon as you would turn it on, it would fly off whichever direction. I'm like, it shouldn't be that hard. I blew a belt yesterday on my air compressor again, and a serpentine. What a nightmare. And I finally got it set right after a year of trying. And I put some belt dressing on it, but it's squeaking because it's just slightly off its alignment. So that's the same thing with my van. It's the same effing thing because the power steering pulley it's pressed on either comes out a little or moves in. I don't know, whichever direction. I think maybe it comes out a little bit. I don't know. And it will lean on the shoulder of the belt, and when or on a rib. And when it does that, it will squeak, and it's horrible. It's absolutely horrible. So this is running good. That's a success. It should still be okay. And eventually I'll move on to the next step of the lathe when I can have some time. It needs to come apart, and I'm going to, clean and repaint the stand, and I want to make a chip bed for it, and at some point some like a proper set of wheels for it to be on with some pins that I can pin it, or a skid plate or something that you can kind of lock it up. I want to be able to move it around at least for a while because I'm not sure what's going on in the garage. And then we can start reassembling it, and then I can correct anything as I go in the assembly. But mostly everything seems like it's okay. It's just got a broken vise. And that's a problem because I don't have a turret mill press or a mill press of some kind. So we're going to find another way of getting us really, really close to on center with a different tool post, and we'll see what happens. But, as time goes on, it will just get better and better. And that's what I've been doing. Remember, it's 100 and something years old. I mean, time takes time, right? As I often say, words of wisdom, time takes time. So take your time, right? Hold on, let me just do something here really quick. I wanted to do this. So let me just minimize this for a second. Minimize that. And then I wanted to make a folder. So just to kind of show you guys what I do. All right. So I'm just going to make a folder here. So this is a very fast hard drive. It's actually an NVMe drive. It looks like a stick of RAM. And this is where I keep a lot of my sort of in process. So we're just going to make a folder, and we'll call it, I don't know, B1, and B2. I need an and. Oh, I need my light. B-2 bomber. Okay. And then we're going to just drag in. So these are the OBS recordings. So I'm going to grab that one, and I'm going to move them. So we'll just cut it. We're going to move into this folder because it's fast. They're both fast, but they'll just be in here. And we'll go to extra large icon. Okay. And just leave them there for a moment. And let's see. We'll come from the right monitor to the main monitor. All right. And we'll open up an instance of DaVinci. Kind of let it come up. And you'll see what I do. Let's see. Takes a bit to load. It's a big program. There we go. So these are some of the projects that I'm currently in process with. Gee, you think there's enough? Let's just kind of move to the outside. Go new folder, B1, B1 and B2 bomber project. All right, as we got a folder, so you can just put whatever you want in the folder. Here's the folder. We're going to go new project, and I'm just going to go B1 and B2, and we'll call it work. It'll open up, and then I'm going to do my layout. So I'm going to change my workspace to a layout preset that I like. Load the preset, and then I'm going to grab my first video, which will be this guy. I'm going to just drag it right into the media pool field. I'm going to right click on it, create new timeline. Okay. And so here's the time. Here it is here. So we're just going to move it forward till it starts. That's it there. It's starting right about here. We're going to cut off the front with my shortcut. We'll come in a little bit. And now what we're going to do is I'm going to zoom in a little bit with over here on the right. We're going to zoom in. We're going to readjust it and just make it a little bit better to look at. We don't want to lose too much. Just by hand, nothing fancy. And that should be good enough. Now we're going to crop one side at a time. Get rid of all this junk over here. And we're going to crop that side. Get rid of all this junk over here. And let's just listen to the audio real fast. Let's open up. We'll compress it a little bit. It's probably already compressed, but we'll give it a little bit more compression. Here's the default. So I'm just going to give it a general compression. And I'm going to back off on the limiter a little bit. Let's listen. Hold on. General comp. Let's check our levels.
Chief told us this thing was going to come by today.
There we go. Bring it up a little bit. A 4 to 1. That should work. Let's come back. Yeah, that sounds good. Let's bring it to the end. And cut. All right, cut it there. Let's bring the other one in. Well, it's already here, so we'll bring it right into the timeline, and it'll automatically drop. It should be, let's cut that. Now I could put something in the middle if I want. I could do a quick transition. We'll do a little dip to color. All right. The audio is already on that timeline, so the audio is already done. Let's bring it in, zoom it in a little bit. Let's back it up just a little. Let's adjust. That should be good. Let's crop it. Get rid of the distractions. That'll work. Let's listen.
Passes. B1B taking off, full afterburners. Now that air superiority has been...
Okay, let's bring it to the end.
What?
Okay, let's back it up. There we go. Let's cut it. That's the end. Now I'm just going to go right over to a different folder. Right up here where I keep some of my stuff. And we'll grab some custom transitions. And I'm just going to move it out of my way. You're not going to see it. So I can just drag in. We'll give it a quick... Yeah, here we go. We'll give it a quick, a 10-second black. This is perfect for commercials and stuff. If you want a commercial spot, this will create it automatically. We'll widen out that dip to color dissolve
transition. Back it up, and since it's already up on the media pool, I'll drag it in here. We'll shorten it. We need to cut one end off. All right, and it's the cut end where you can. Oh, did a little too much. Let's back it up. Grab the wrong one. Somebody's dinging me. It's Mike. Hey, Mike. And there we go.
That is it.
All right, now you could put anything you want, your leaders, your headers. So now we're done there. Now we're going to export it. We're going to be able to watch it. Let's click on the export button. I'm going to come over here to a preset that I have for 1080p general. Everything's already preset for me. We got to navigate to that drive. This is a video edit drive, to the work folder, to the active machines, and then over to the B1, B2. We'll call this B1 and B2 bomber. Bomber short. Now, short. That's okay. Leave it like that. Now, it's not done because what I need to do to it, let's come back over here, is I need to export it. I need to change its timeline because this stupid shit is this vertical, which I don't use. So how do I do that again? I often forget how to do that. Can I do it in an export? Let's see my timeline resolution. No, I want it custom? No, I don't want to do custom. Over here, use vertical resolution. That's another way of doing it. So I'm going to use a vertical resolution on the export, and I'm going to add it to the render queue. Add higher resolution. The render resolution is higher than the timeline resolution. Actually, no, we'll cancel that. Maybe I'll see if I can do it this way. I think I can do it like this. Timeline resolution. Timeline settings. Output. Use project settings. I don't want to use project settings. I want to use vertical resolution. Click OK. And we need to tweak it a little bit because we changed that. So I got to go back over to the crop. Yeah, it fucked it up. No, that fucked it up. Yeah, I kind of fucked it up. Hold on. I should have done that first. Let's see. Yeah, let's leave it like that. So if I want to export it, I think we'll try exporting it first and just see how it comes out. But it's going to try to play on this widescreen format. So I really don't want to bring my timeline resolution. Let's add it. Let's see what happens. It'll be upscaled, it says. Let's render it. Let's see. Now, it's going to be too small. See, normally I just work in widescreen. So, yeah, it's going to be too small. I'll check it. Yeah, that's it. I'll fix it. Yeah, it's too small. Hold on. Let me fix it. Correct way to fix it is to bring this in, change it here. Let's go over to format. I don't like any of those resolutions. Yeah, I hate these stupid resolutions. Use vertical resolution, and we'll just fix it. What we'll do is we'll go like that, go like that.
Wow, it screwed up the whole resolution. You little bastard. Screw that, that.
The chief told
Yeah, why is it so bad? It shouldn't have done that. Yeah, let's bring it back in real quick. Cut this one out. Drop it back in. That's this one. Well, that's the idea. But it's giving me guff. Nope, it's not there.
that is a deep.
How else do I do it? Let's see, there must be another way of doing it. Let's do it this way. That is a proper resolution. Yeah, now this one's screwing up on me. But that's the idea. So when I had it set the first way, it would make a video that would be 1080p wide, but it would just be in a vertical with the black bars on the side. But that's the idea. I'll do it again next time and I'll show you, but I don't want to spend any more time because it's too late now. Hold on, I'm coming back. Let me come back to here. But that's pretty cool. That thing went almost vertical, which is insane. It's absolutely insane. Like it went like this and flew. But I don't have the head for it. It's too late. Normally when I bring them in, I have presets, but because I don't like to do a lot of verticals, although what you saw on that little clip that I played, right? The creepy clips and everything, they're all done like that. And so you see them in a 1080p because they're mixed in with 1080p, but they're all cropped and they're full height. You can't stretch it to 1080p because the image would distort too much. But you can work with it, and that's just kind of an idea of what I do. And then I export it, and it goes pretty quick, but I'm shot now. I'm done. I'm done with all of this. But I don't like shorts. You can't see them. They're missing the rest of the screens. Like, where's the width? That thing looks sick. That thing looks sick. The other bee bomber, they just wanted to show you the nozzles at the end with their afterburners on because it was in full loadout and it was probably overloaded with bombs. So it was in full loadout. It can, they had to fly like 30 hours to get over there because, our allies didn't want to play nice with us. So they had to fly even further. But I was told that, yes, they do need to be refueled, but when they get up to a certain speed, they use a lot less fuel because there's this weird magnetic anomaly that occurs at the wing leading edge. And it's almost a magnetic molecular attraction that starts to pull the plane forward. Now, you will lose speed if you don't have some thrust on, but it doesn't just use its thrust from behind. It actually gets a forward pull or frontal pull from the wings itself. It's pretty interesting math behind it. And also from that knowledge, I had said that like the big GE engines that you see on the big commercial planes and everything else, they're so large that once they get to altitude and they get the correct forward speed, whatever their cruising speed is, like around 400 or 500 miles an hour, knots, they really don't rely on the thrust out the back. the fan is so large, it actually sucks the plane forward. Because when you get up to altitude, there's less air friction, but there's less air. But then there's this whole other dynamic because it's moving you just have to maintain a forward speed. There's really nothing in its way. They're above weather. So you get to a certain point, and at that cruising point, the plane is more getting sucked along than it is being pushed along. And it's like we're at that point, right? Now, we're at the point now where really we can't go much further with that technology. You need a different technology altogether, right? If you want to go anywhere, right? Because there's limits to this technology. Even though you can make it fancy and cool and everything, there's limits to it, you know. But we're getting there. They claim all this new technology is coming down the pipe. Like, I've seen some evidence of it, but some of it will never be practical for us little peeps, you know. We get all of this, everything is all created by war, right? It's all of it. So we get, this is, by the way, 6th generation, 7th generation, all of that, that's all warfare technology. You really don't want that in your phone, all right? How do you think, allegedly, how do you think the Israelis blew up all those dudes, right, with their cell phones and beepers and stuff? You think they just put charges inside? Yeah, that's what they want you to believe. These things are bombs, right? Allegedly. Well, not this generation, no. Right? He goes, hey, buddy, that's Big Mike. Yeah. You know, what are you doing, Mike? Mike, you missed half of it. So let me see what you guys are up to, and then we'll get out of here. Let's see, hold on. Crazy Canadian here. You know, pray for her. After Mark comes Electric Star. Elizabeth, cool brother. I know you appreciate it. Brett says, next one, I'll try that, but I need help. Yeah, I hear you, brother. Papa says, oh, what's this? Let me close that out. Get that out of my way. Papa says, would love a lift table like yours. Got that one already. Now that I have to pay it off, next step is the pen to lift. Yeah, I got a bunch of stuff I got to pay off. I definitely floated my credit cards up a little too high this year. Yep. Hey, Arch, how's that lathe coming? Got to that. Very cool. Man about Mars. He goes, I have a set of Kevlar belts for the 40/16 blade mower deck. One of those a 5-inch belt, another one a 1/2-inch mower belt. Nice. Make sure your pulleys are clean. If you got to run a wire wheel over them, because when they get, that's part of what happened to my snowblower is the pulleys were rusted because it had sat and it ate the belt. I'll show you that. Excuse me. I'm sorry. That was me. I did that. I take full lack of responsibility for that. Yes, sir. It's a strange thing to have a bigger belt for the primary drive belt. It's cool though, Robert. Man of Mo says, yes, sir. He goes, oh, Florida says, hey, Arch, USA. Yeah, that stuff is cool. Yep. I worked on the old F-14s. You know, it's funny because I was listening to another fellow and he was talking about how those F-14s, Iran had the last set of F-14s. And no, there is no such thing as there might be something sitting somewhere in a barn or a hangar, but no, Tom Cruise is not going to be able to come along and find it and fly it, right? They destroyed almost everything. And one of the reasons why is because Iran has had those damn things. So unfortunately, there really isn't any F-14 around because they've been destroying all the parts supplies for the old shit. Because Iran had been mothballing those. So sad to say, after what's been going on, anecdotally speaking, there are no more F-14s. We have one over here. We have one on a stand over here, not far from where I used to work on them. But it's not in any flight condition. You know, it has long since been. But yeah, a whole bunch of Iraqis, I think, had them for a while. I don't know. We sold them to Egypt. We had a whole bunch of them. I worked on some of the last ones, and I did what they called the K-mods, which was updating old airframes so that they could put new avionics in them and stuff. But it was not quite an F-14D. But what was nice to see, on another anecdote, I mean, it's never nice to see war gear in action for any reason, really, because, you know, it brings death. But the E2C was a plane I also worked on with the big rotor dome. It used to fly over when I was a kid in my sandbox, playing in my sandbox, I would look up and watch the E2C fly overhead out of Bethpage. And I would say, I want to work on that one day. Well, I did. I worked on a lot of the avionics and stuff. Wave guides and all that for the radar systems. But the E2D is a very high-tech version of that plane. It's still the same plane, but it's a new airframe. So it's the same thing, really. It's a newer airframe with a new rotor dome on it and all new electronics. I don't know if there are any original airframes, but that and the EA6B Prowler was the jammer and everything. But the E2C is pretty amazing. Now, when I was there, we were working on AWACS and stuff, and that went to Florida. And that was basically, I think it was a 747. I don't know if that's up there. I don't know anything about that anymore. I haven't looked into it. I've got out of it, and I stopped paying attention to it. But it's similar to what it does is by tracking targets and all of that, and you can loiter. But what's nice about the E2C is that it's small. It folds up. You can put it on an aircraft carrier. You can put it on station. And it goes fairly slow. And it just sits and loiters. And it can handle thousands of targets and do communications. And it can work on a project while another one is working on a different project. So, you can help to deal with, strike missions and all of that. And then another one could be mapping out an area. For example, it could be looking at, after you struck, it could be looking at other targets, forward-looking more. And then another one could be waiting for a missile site to pull out and fire off a rocket. And then it knows exactly where that is, and it will send. That's probably what's sending information over to the F-22s and what have you, and F-35s, because they're up there loitering. And but they can't loiter as long. But they can get there fast. Whereas an E2C can loiter a really long time, but it can't get there too quick. But it doesn't go away. And it can stay off station, but it can still see. So, and you can just bring it with you, whereas, a 747 or whatever, it's got to come out of a base from somewhere. And a lot of our bases got destroyed because, that's going to happen. So it's got to come from somewhere else and it's got to fly in, but it can stay for a long time and it can fly for a long period of time. And it can cover a lot of ground before it gets to station. But that's a whole process. So everybody's got a job, right? Everything's got something to do. But it's just kind of cool to see that flying like that. I've never seen one of those up close. And I'm sure that did spirit up the troops a little bit over there on the deck. It's always fun to see your own hardware flying over and tipping its wings and, a little morale boost to the fellas and the ladies that are working so hard over there and putting themselves in harm's way. So God bless to them. And it was also nice to see this morning, I think there was a meeting in the Oval Office and there was a prayer meeting and Pastor got together with a bunch of people and the president and they've been praying for this country, for the welfare of us. And let's hope they're praying to the right God because Lord knows we could use all the help we can get. And with that, thanks everybody for hanging out tonight and just farting around and checking out what I'm doing. It's good to be back for a little bit. Hopefully we'll see you guys next week. If the creek don't rise and the snow don't fall and the crazy shit doesn't go on and I'm not exhausted and tired, but yeah, and it was fun checking out the cats and everything else. And I'm going to go in and pester my cats. I'll see you guys later.